Growing up in South Africa, where I was told black people were inferior, black people couldn't do it, when you learn that the myth about the other, the others, is false, I mean demonstrably false, I think in some quiet way one begins to question any group characterization whenever one is talking about the others, whoever the others are.
Goodridge really set the terms of the debate. And frankly, if it's possible, the decision looks even more wise and insightful 10 years out than even it did at the time.
It didn't dismiss out of hand the arguments on the other side. It took them reasonably, and it took them seriously, and it demolished them one by one.
It talks about people, it talks about love, it talks about commitment, it talks about the Constitution's command. Chief Justice Marshall did such a beautiful job, in fact, that her words are literally read at weddings now as part of people's vows.
The thought that any quotation of mine would ever be used in any context other than being quoted back to the court for a subsequent, in a subsequent brief never entered my head.
Goodridge was a political explosion from the moment it happened. Thousands of people turning out to the State House and saying, "You're not going to lose this." That was a really powerful moment.
We finally got a reality with which to beat the prejudice to death. It was important for us to protect that reality in one state, and ultimately it would spread.
The best advocacy for marriage is marriage. Those people who are opposed to equal rights, those people can't just make up stories, all the horrible things that would happen if you have people getting married.
They see at a same-sex marriage what they see at every marriage. People in love, people happy, you walk down an aisle, usually. Sometimes you stamp on a glass, other times you don't. Somebody says kiss the spouse, kiss the groom, kiss the bride, people kiss, clap, clap. Music plays, celebration. That taught a lot. It taught a lot.
And once that door was open, we crossed the threshold. Increasingly, courts and legislatures and voters and states and countries all around the world have crossed that threshold with the door open that Goodridge represented.
What started out as 7 couples trying to tell our story that people could relate to now has become everybody's story. It's so good when you see things like what's happened at the Supreme Court. We can go to those places, they don't even know who we are. And it's all these young people, and now it's their stories.
I'll never forget the joy on everyone's face inside City Hall when we issued those first marriage licenses. And then the crowd at City Hall Plaza cheering the soon-to-be-married couples was just amazing.
10 years ago, the landmark Goodridge decision made it clear no one should be discriminated against because of who they love. This was not only a huge victory for families here in our Commonwealth, it was a major step forward toward equal marriage rights for all Americans.
It's really hard to overstate the importance of the Goodridge case in the history of our movement.
It is an important milestone. It has laid the groundwork for so much of the progress that we have seen over the last 10 years in providing for fairness and removing discrimination from everybody, from the individuals in Massachusetts and hopefully across the country.
And I salute Chief Justice Margaret Marshall for her beautifully rendered visionary ruling. Happy 10th anniversary.
I've had many poignant moments, but one was a woman that I had worked with for many years. I had no idea what her sexual orientation was. I didn't care. And she said to me, "Chief Justice, I always thought I knew who I was until I read this decision." I think we shouldn't overlook, what gay and lesbian people have had to, and transgender people have had to face in their real lives in the past.